Okay, it's been 5 days, I think, since the NBA draft lottery. We've had a chance to let things kind of smooth over. I talked a lot, even when we were doing our live show. For those of you who watched with us, thank you so much. I talked a lot about how I was going to be the one who stayed calm when we got booted back to 5. I talked about how mathematically that's probably where we're going to be. And I did all this tough, and I was going to stay calm because when I was in the pre-draft process, and I still am in it, and I was starting to do my early film watching, and I was watching stuff. I saw 2 guys, and I just said this in the last video, that I felt were head and shoulders above everybody else just because of what they bring to the game and their physical traits. Obviously, Victor Wembenyama is a league of his own. And then I think Scoot is in a league of his own above everybody else. So it was either pick 1, pick 2, or bust. And I think you could have gone pick 3 through 8 and gotten similar talent, and that's a similar tier. Now, 5 was as far as we could fall. And I know I'm not crazy with that because Troy Weaver said the exact same thing. He said that you really have guys 3 through 8 are the same. He's saying that on purpose. I think you can find guys in that range. So there's an article by the Free Press. This is our introductory kind of scouting video. And then we're going to go in depth on each one of these guys and some more, because I think there's 6, 7 guys in play for the Pistons with that 3rd through 8 pick. So the Free Press, Omari Sankofa, he does a pretty good job, put together 6 names to look at. And the first one is Amen Thompson. And some of you are going to be like, nah, he's going to be gone by 5. Are you kidding? Remember last year I put together a video of how Ivy could fall to us? And he did. And so like these things are possible. Amen Thompson, if you don't know who he is, go watch him. He is an absolute athletic freak. I don't know how else to say it. He's good defensively. He has lapses of judgment in defense, or concentration, I should say. He can drive. He has a good handle. He is good with the ball. He can pass the ball very, very well. So I don't know if it necessarily fits with the Pistons, but you take a talent like this, if he's available, very, very possible. The biggest knock on him, dude, is a non-shooter. Not a bad shooter, a non-shooter. He shot, you can see it, 65.6% on free throws and 25% on threes. Terrible. The shot doesn't look good. It doesn't look utterly broken. I think you can bring it to a decent spot. All right, next is one of my, and what might be my personal favorite, Cam Whitmore out of Villanova. A lot of people will see Cam Whitmore and they'll be like, no, Saddiq Bey. This dude is not Saddiq Bey. This guy takes a backseat athletically to almost no one. All right, maybe Amen Thompson, but that's about it. He is a phenomenal athlete. He's still 18 years old. He turns 19 in July. That's not bad. His game, he's got a good enough jump shot. He's 34.5% on the year from 3, 40% on catch and shoot. So that shows you a good ceiling, has a pretty good free throw percentage. He is a great athlete, and he will be a good wing defender. He can start out as an athletic 3-and-D defender, and I think he can go to more. His biggest knock is his assist to turnover. He is not a playmaker. He will not create, and I shouldn't say he's not a playmaker. He is that. He can create off his own bounce. He can't create for others. It is not in his bag right now, but we have Caden Ivey for that. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. The dude is solid. The next one is Jarace Walker. He's 6'8", anywhere between 220 and 240. I believe based on his build, he's closer to that 240 range, as you can see. I'm going to give you a unique comp. His jump shot looks almost identical to Isaiah Stewart's. He shot 35%, I believe, in college from the three-point line, but he is better than Stewart in all the other measurables. He can jump higher. He can run faster. He has better lateral movement. He is a guy that is the size of a power forward, but he moves like a small forward. I think lineups where you put him and Isaiah Stewart next to each other could be phenomenal. There's a lot of beef there. The thing that he struggles with, surprisingly, is finishing around the rim. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So that seems to be a thing, but it would be fun to see them next to each other. Okay, the next one is Amen's brother, Ausar Thompson. Also on Overtime Elite, he shot the ball more from deep. His thing is that he's a slightly better shooter, so I wouldn't say he's a non-shooter. I would say he's more of a bad shooter. But he's got the burst, he's got the control around the rim, maybe not quite to what his brother's is. And he's still, he might not be what his brother is in handling the ball. Or maybe his brother just got more opportunities. It's hard to know. It's hard to say exactly. All right, then you have Anthony Black. This is interesting. He was at Arkansas. He's one of those guys that should be good. He's 6'7", he's lanky. He can be a reliable point guard. He can be a multi-positional defender. I haven't done as much work on him, but another one of these guys that just doesn't shoot the ball extremely well. I don't know exactly what he does other than he's a multi-positional defender. I don't know if it helps with what we have already. And then you have power forward Taylor Hendricks. I like this guy a lot. If we were picking 7 or 8, this would be a no-brainer for me. This is a stretch 4. He shoots the ball at 40% clip out of Central Florida. He is long. He moves well. He's athletic. He's switchable to 3 through 5. He might be a little bit underweight. He's 210 right now, but it's not like he's ridiculously skinny. Dude can shoot, and he can shoot off the dribble and with pressure in his face. That's a really, really good sign. If you want a guy that you can, I know Pistons fans hate hearing this. If you want a guy that on offense you can put in a corner, but also will be really complimentary, I think putting him in a lineup next to Duren is scary. I think even putting him in the lineup next to Isaiah Stewart's good because he can bring you some of that paint protection that Isaiah Stewart struggles to bring. This would fit in well, but he is a straight stretch 4. And then you see this right here, almost 2 blocks per game. I really like his game. He's a kind of a guy who came out of almost nowhere. I mean, he was at Central Florida, right? He was at Central Florida. So there you have it. Now, you hear me saying this, go watch film on some of these guys for yourself. If you think that the Pistons don't have an option with all those guys, you think they can't pick somebody up that's going to make a huge difference for the future? You're not paying attention. I don't want to be that guy. There are some good players. This is a very deep draft class. This isn't like the year where it was Williamson and Ja Morant went 1-2 and then just big time fall off after that. And it was like, who's going to go where? You had guys that are in the bottom, 7, 8, 9 that are struggling staying in the league right now from that draft. This is not that draft. I would say this is one of the deepest and best drafts I've seen in a long time. I don't think anybody was upset being in the top 5 last year, and people shouldn't be upset being in the top 10 this year. There's good players. We didn't even talk about Grady Dick as a possibility. He's another good player. So do yourselves a favor, start watching some film on these guys, even highlights. One place I love to go is Hoop Intellect. It's on YouTube channel. He does a great job breaking down their strengths, their weaknesses. Always like to shout out other guys. Don't know him. It's just one of the channels that I've actually really liked and gleaned some good information, because sometimes it's hard if you're just a normal person to find good film where it's good and bad all combined. And he does a great job with that. So Hoop Intellect is really good on YouTube. But hey, if you haven't yet, we want to be your source for the Pistons. Sign up, become a member if you'd like. Leave a comment below. Who's your favorite player out of all these? Let me know what you think. I'm still very high on the Pistons future, and I hope you are too. See you on the next one.